Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're diving into something pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Generative AI search engines.
Really cool stuff.
We'll be looking at an essay by Jörg-Owe all about how these new search engines are changing the way we find information online.
Totally.
If you've ever been frustrated trying to find what you need online,
Oh, yeah.
get ready to be amazed.
Absolutely.
This is going to blow your mind how AI is changing everything.
It really is a huge shift.
Yeah.
You know, Schneppat really highlights how traditional search engines,
Right.
even Google, were limited by keywords.
Right.
They gave you tons of links,
Yeah.
but you had to sort through them all.
It was like finding a needle in a haystack.
Exactly.
Snapchat takes us back to the early days.
Yeah.
Before Google was king. Remember Alta Vista
Oh,
or Yahoo?
definitely.
Searching back then was a totally different experience.
It was. Schneppat points out that Google's PageRank algorithm was a big innovation because it prioritized relevance and authority.
Right.
But even then, search engines still couldn't really understand what we were looking for.
So how do we get from basic keyword matching to these super smart AI search engines?
Well, Schneppat says the key was artificial intelligence, specifically machine learning and natural language processing.
Interesting.
These let search engines understand the meaning behind our searches, not just the words themselves.
Instead of just matching keywords, the search engine can analyze the context.
Exactly.
And figure out what we really want.
Like it can read our minds.
Yeah.
Schneppat emphasizes that Google is already using AI to handle the massive amount of searches.
It's a lot.
They process every day.
Yeah.
Did you know they handle over 8.5 billion searches daily?
That's crazy.
It's mind-boggling.
It is.
And with AI,
Yeah.
they can move beyond the traditional search bar and make search more intuitive and personalized.
Cool. So how do these AI search engines work?
Well, Schneppat gets into the technical details.
Okay.
He explains that generative AI search engines use sophisticated algorithms like GANs or generative adversarial networks and LLMs.
LLMs?
Large language models.
Those sound complicated.
They are pretty complex, but I can try to break it down.
Okay.
Imagine a GAN.
Okay.
It's learning to create realistic images of cats.
Okay.
It's like two AIs are playing a game.
Oh, wow.
One AI tries to generate a fake cat picture, and the other AI tries to spot the fake.
Interesting.
So through this back and forth, the image generator gets better and better.
So it's learning.
Exactly. By practicing and getting feedback, LLMs are a bit different. They're trained on a massive amount of text data.
Like?
Think of it like a super reader that's read the entire internet.
Wow.
It's learned all the patterns of language and can now predict what words come next. Like, write like a human.
It can speak our language.
Pretty much.
Wow.
And when you combine GANs and LLMs, you get search engines that can understand complex questions, generate creative content.
Wow.
And even have conversations with us.
That's amazing. This technology is evolving so quickly.
It is.
But Schneppat also points out some downsides.
He does.
Like data privacy.
Right. He explains that because these AI models learn from so much data, there's a risk they could memorize sensitive information. Yeah. And if that information leaks, it could violate people's privacy.
That is unsettling.
Yeah.
Are there any solutions for that?
Thankfully, yes.
Okay.
Schneppat says researchers are exploring things like differential privacy.
What's that?
It adds noise to the data to make it harder to identify individuals, but it still lets the AI learn.
So it's like blurring faces in a photo.
Exactly, to protect people's identities.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
So besides data privacy, are there other concerns with these AI search engines?
Schneppat brings up another important point.
What's that?
These technologies could actually make digital divides worse.
Oh, wow.
Well, if these advanced search tools are only accessible to certain groups, or if they're designed to exclude certain people, it could marginalize those who are already underserved by technology.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
We need to be mindful of inclusivity and accessibility.
Absolutely.
As we develop these tools.
We want everyone to benefit.
Exactly.
Not just a select few.
It's a reminder that we need to consider everyone.
Schneppat makes a strong case for that.
Yeah.
For thinking about diverse users,
like
people with disabilities, neurodiverse individuals, and people who speak different languages.
Yeah.
We need to design these tools with inclusivity in mind.
Right from the start.
Yes, from the very beginning.
Schneppat's insights are so valuable.
They are.
Highlighting both the amazing potential and the potential problems of this rapidly changing technology.
Totally.
Before we get into the challenges and solutions, let's look at some of the popular generative AI search engines that are already out there.
Sounds good.
I bet many of you have already used some of these.
Probably.
Let's jump in.
Okay. Yeah, so we are about to get into some specific search engines using this technology.
Right.
Schneppat starts with ChatGPT.
Oh, ChatGPT.
What you've probably heard of.
Oh, yeah. ChatGPT is everywhere these days.
It is.
It's all over the news. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
Schneppat says it's the fastest growing consumer app in history.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It's pretty amazing.
It is.
He talks about how versatile it is. It can do way more than answer questions.
Okay.
Like it can write different creative text formats. Like poems, code scripts, musical pieces, emails, letters. It can translate languages and even help you with research.
That's incredible. I've heard about some of that.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize it could do all that.
It's a powerful tool.
No wonder it's so popular.
Yeah.
So what about Google?
Right.
How are they responding to ChatGPT?
Well, Schneppat talks about Google's AI chatbot.
Okay.
Google Gemini.
Gemini.
It's interesting because Google doesn't see it as a replacement.
Okay.
For their regular search engine.
Interesting.
They want it to be an interactive AI assistant that works alongside their search tools.
So it's like a sidekick.
Yeah.
To help you use Google search.
Kinda.
Cool.
Schneppat says Gemini uses advanced language models.
Like what?
Like LaMDA and Poem to understand your questions and give more personalized and conversational answers.
Like you're having a conversation.
Exactly.
With the search engine.
More natural.
That sounds pretty neat.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how Gemini changes and how people use it.
Me too.
What other generative AI search engines does Schneppat talk about?
Well, he highlights DeepSeek.
DeepSeek.
It's another one that's becoming popular.
Okay.
And what's really interesting, Schneppat explains, is that it's very cost effective.
Okay.
They've managed to grow quickly and become popular while keeping costs way lower than competitors.
Wow, that's impressive.
It is.
Sounds like they're focused on efficiency.
Yeah.
And giving users a good experience.
Exactly.
Without spending too much.
Right.
Smart.
Schneppat thinks this could change things in the AI world.
How so?
It shows you don't need tons of money to make a successful product if you're smart and focus on what users need.
That's a great point. It's cool to see smaller companies shaking things up.
They are.
Push the limit.
That's exciting.
Are there any other search engines that stand out to you?
Schneppat also talks about Perplexity AI.
Perplexity AI.
They've found their niche by giving real-time citations with their search results.
Oh, wow.
That's huge for researchers.
Yeah.
Students, anyone who needs to check if information is accurate.
That is super valuable.
It is.
Especially now with so much misinformation online.
Right.
It's like a fact checker built right in.
Exactly.
That's great.
Schneppat points out that Perplexity AI is really committed to transparency and accuracy, which makes it a really useful tool.
If you need to be sure about the information.
Yeah.
Sounds perfect for research.
It is.
Or schoolwork.
Yeah.
Is there one last search engine Schneppat mentions?
The last one is Claude AI.
Claude AI.
And what's interesting about Claude AI is that it was designed with ethics and safety in mind.
Okay.
The company who made it, Anthropic.
Anthropic.
They use something called constitutional AI.
Constitutional AI. What's that?
It's a framework to make sure the AI's outputs align with human values and principles.
Well, that's good.
It is.
It's great that they're thinking about the ethics right from the start.
Yeah, it's important.
What does Schneppat say about this constitutional AI?
He thinks it's a promising way to reduce some of the risks that come with generative AI by building ethical guidelines right into the AI's design. Good. We can hopefully make sure these tools are used for good and that they don't accidentally cause harm.
That makes sense. It's a really interesting concept.
It is.
It'll be interesting to see how it develops as AI keeps evolving.
Definitely.
It reminds us that technology isn't neutral.
Right.
It reflects the values of the people who create it, and we need to make sure we're building AI that helps everyone.
Absolutely.
So we've covered a lot today.
We have.
The history of search, the rise of AI, the technology behind these new search engines.
Yeah.
And even some of the companies leading the way.
It's been a good overview.
But like any new technology,
right?
There are challenges, too.
There are.
What does Schnepphat have to say about the downsides?
He does spend a lot of time discussing those challenges.
Good.
He's not just praising AI. He's thinking critically about it.
That's important.
He wants to make sure we're being realistic.
Absolutely. So let's talk about those challenges.
Okay.
What are some of the biggest concerns he raises?
One of the biggest is data privacy.
Right. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, how these AI models learn from tons of data and could accidentally memorize sensitive information.
Mm-hmm.
And if that gets out, could be a big problem.
We need to address that.
Definitely.
Especially as this technology becomes more common.
Right.
What other challenges are there?
He also talks about algorithmic bias.
Algorithmic bias.
Yeah, remember how these AIs learn from data?
Yeah.
Well, if that data is biased,
I see.
The AI will be biased too. And that could lead to unfair results.
Right. That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
We need to be careful about what data we use.
Absolutely.
And we need to find ways to reduce bias.
It's essential.
Schnepphat is right.
Yeah.
It's not enough to just make powerful AI.
No.
We need to make sure it's fair and doesn't make existing inequalities worse.
That's the goal.
It's a tough challenge.
It is.
But we need to solve it.
If we want this technology to truly help everyone.
Are there any other concerns?
He also brings up inclusivity again.
Right. Making sure everyone can use these tools.
Exactly.
Regardless of background, ability, or language.
He really stresses the need to consider neurodiverse individuals and people with disabilities when designing these technologies.
It's about making sure everyone benefits.
Right.
That no one is left out.
Exactly. And that's where collaboration comes in.
Okay.
Schnepphat says we need to bring in experts from all sorts of fields.
Fight bright.
Tech, education, policy, ethics.
Wow, a lot of people.
To make sure AI is developed responsibly.
So it's not just up to the tech people.
No, it's a big conversation.
We need everyone's input.
To shape the future of AI.
Make sure it benefits humanity.
Exactly.
And he talks about technological integration, too.
Yes, he says we'll start to see AI search in other platforms and devices.
On the web browsers.
Like in virtual assistants, smart home devices, even augmented reality.
Wow.
Schnepphat thinks this could make information more accessible for more people.
So it's not just about new search engines.
Right.
It's about integrating AI into our lives.
Making information more seamless, intuitive, and accessible.
It's a cool vision of the future.
It is.
Empowering people and giving everyone access to knowledge.
That's the goal.
Sounds like we're on the edge of a huge shift.
We are.
In how we learn and understand the world.
Schnepphat has given us a lot to think about.
He has.
The possibilities are amazing.
Yeah.
But we need to be aware of the challenges.
It's a call to action.
It is.
To be part of this conversation and help shape the future of AI.
For the good of everyone.
It's an incredible time to be alive.
It is.
The future of search is in our hands.
We get to decide what we do with it.
Yeah, it really is an exciting time to be alive. AI is changing so much.
It really is.
But as we wrap up this deep dive on these generative AI search engines, I want to go back to something Jörg-Owe Schnepphat talks about a lot.
Okay, what's that?
Well, he keeps saying that these new search technologies could really make a difference in the world.
In a good way.
Yeah, it's not just about making search easier or faster.
Right.
It's about using AI to actually help people.
Okay.
And make information more equal for everyone.
I like that.
Schnepphat really believes in using technology to solve problems.
Yeah.
And he thinks these AI search engines could be a big part of that.
That's a cool way to think about it.
He specifically mentions how these technologies could bridge digital divides.
Oh, yeah.
And make information accessible to more people.
That's important.
He talks about using AI to make search engines work in different languages.
Yeah.
And adapt to different cultures.
That would be huge.
It would. Yeah. Imagine everyone being able to find information. And be part of online communities, no matter what language they speak.
That's the dream.
That's the kind of future Schnepphat is talking about.
A good future.
But he reminds us that technology isn't a magic solution.
Right. It's a tool.
It's a tool that can be used in good ways and bad ways.
We have to be careful.
And we need to make sure we're using it wisely.
For the right reasons.
Schnepphat wants us to really think about the impact of these technologies. And be involved in shaping the future of AI.
Not just sit back and watch.
Exactly. We need to be part of the conversation.
Make our voices heard.
And advocate for the kind of future we want to see.
The future we want.
Schnippat has given us a lot to think about.
He has.
We've looked at how search has evolved, how AI has risen, what these new AI search engines can do.
Amazing things.
The good and the bad that can come with them.
It's a lot to consider.
And all the ethical questions we need to keep in mind.
And it's been a great deep dive.
It has. I hope you've enjoyed it and learned something new.
I think it's given us a good overview.
And that it's left you with a feeling of...
What feeling?
Of possibility.
Yeah.
But also responsibility.
We have a part to play.
The future of search is in our hands.
Let's make it a good one.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been fun.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning.